We got a lot of trailers to catch up on.
Some trailers that broke, sure.
While we were gone. So the first one is Richard Kelly's The Box, which is based on a short story by Richard Matheson.
Cameron Diaz and James Marsden
Which is good for him.
Yeah, he's really underrated in terms of his range, because you just see him in everything from wacky comedies to musicals to movies like this and Cyclops and so.
Superman.
Yeah. So The Box, they play a couple who, you know, like everybody else, they're having some tough times financially, and then this mysterious box shows up on their doorstep, and then Frank Langella shows up, and there's a button, and if you push this button, somewhere in the world, somebody who you don't know will die, and you'll get $1 million. But you can't, you can't try and investigate them. You can't, once you're in sort of thing. So I think it's one of those movies that's going to lead to maybe, even no matter how well it's done, a lot of conversation after where people will be talking about.
Like, would you push it?
Would you push the button? What's going on?
I would not. Because what if I push the button and, like, someone who, like, had the cure for cancer dies? I don't want that on my fault.
Right. So that's the Box.
Yes, and then we have Couples Retreat, which is the Vince Vaughn movie. It has a lot of people in it.
A real sort of comedy all-star cast. So they had the Vince Vaughn, Jason Bateman, Jon Favreau, Kristen Davis, Kristen Bell.
Malin Ackerman's in it.
And Ken Jeong was in it from The Hangover, playing one of the doctors. And so, I don't know, did Judd Apatow have anything to do with this movie? Because it looks like he probably did.
No, this is the Jon Favreau group of people.
I was expecting Paul Rudd and Jonah Hill to make an appearance as well.
And we'll see if you can recognize this, it's directed by Peter Billingsley.
I know who Peter Billingsley is.
And he's a close partner of Jon Favreau, but he's also really known for A Christmas Story.
Yeah, he's Ralphie from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, so it's directed by him.
We watched the trailer a few minutes ago. I got some chuckles and I laughed a bit, but I also have this feeling that we just saw all the funny parts.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if there's more, like, that's maybe a little too raunchy that they couldn't show.
If there's a Red Band trailer floating around there somewhere.
Yeah. So right now it's sort of a maybe.
Me too. It's like The Proposal. I might wait,
Let's talk about The Informant next, and we'll save that other one for last. The Informant with Matt Damon, a wacky comedy. Here's the thing. It's directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Yes, who I like.
Watching the trailer, if they hadn't said that, it had a very Coen Brothers feel to me.
It did, yeah.
Like, it's one of those sort of real broad, dark comedy, sort of Coen Brother type where it's weird, you're laughing, you're not quite sure why, but it's Matt Damon. He plays an informant from some, corn company. Conglomerate company, and he's informing to the feds. Scott Bakula plays one of the FBI agents, and
Joel McHale plays the other one.
And Matt Damon is just this real sort of ridiculous character, but he doesn't really know how ridiculous he is.
I mean, it's that thing. He's like very OCD. I read that, and then, like, they don't know how to control him. So that's what the.
It looks like it has a very definite audience. So I would say if you enjoy the Coen Brothers style of comedy, this looks like the kind of movie that you would be into.
Yeah. And then, I heard other two is Matt Damon's getting it's very little bit of Oscar buzz for this movie, because it's something that's outside of his normal.
It's very unlike, he's not playing the heartthrob, he's not playing Jason Bourne, so it is very unlike things he's done before.
And speaking of Oscar bait, we have our last trailer.
Amelia, which is
Amelia Earhart.
Two-time Academy Award winner. Hilary Swank plays Amelia Earhart. Richard Gere, I guess, plays like the promoter or her manager or something.
Ewan McGregor's in it.
Yeah, and so it's basically the story of Amelia Earhart, and first her announcing that she was going to make this flight, and then she disappears, and it did look a little dull. I'm not going to lie. It looked a little dull. They tried to spice it up and make it look exciting, but it looks to me like this movie is going to be about 2 hours of just talking about going on the flight, and then the last half hour will be the flight, and then she'll go missing, and there'll be some, screen card at the end about the life of Amelia Earhart or something, and what happened to him. And so
no, what this movie's really about is Hilary Swank wants a third Oscar.
That, when you get down to it, yes, she's trying to be 3-time Academy Award winner Hilary Swank, and come on. unless the movie is just completely god awful, she's probably going to get a nomination.
At least a nomination. I know it's still too early. We're gonna talk about this in the more upcoming weeks. But another person, I think, a dark horse that we need to be on the lookout is Meryl Streep for her Julie and Julia.
I don't think Meryl Streep is ever really a dark horse for an Oscar nomination.
It's a real, it's a comedy. It's like full on comedy.
So,
and, you know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but yeah. So this movie, if you see the trailer, it's obviously just a reason for Hilary Swank to get another Oscar nomination. And like I said, unless the movie's just completely awful and is a big flop, she'll probably get it.
Yeah, and that makes me sad. Anyways, I'll tell a story. So, Stephanie goes on vacation. The day Stephanie goes on vacation, I have this thought. Because we've been kind of back and forth, I feel like our last 3, counting this one, episode, you've been talking about the A-Team.
Yeah, the casting.
And it was my idea first. I said Ryan Reynolds, and then she hit me with the Sam Rockwell. And so I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to beat her back. I'm going to find the perfect person, and I'm going to BAM! So, of course, I thought of it the day she left. And I didn't want to email her because I wanted to see her instant reaction.
Okay, let's go.
Okay, so then, but here's the crazy thing. So, this person, I think, can play either Face or Murdoch.
Okay.
So if Bradley Cooper falls out, or Sam Rockwell's busy and Ryan Reynolds isn't busy,
okay,
what do you think about James Roday playing these parts from Psych?
I don't think he could be Face. But he probably could be Murdoch because he has that wackiness to him.
I think he has great comic timing.
He has, like you said, great comic timing, and Murdoch is the crazy character that gets all the wild comedy. I still think Sam Rockwell...
But if Sam Rockwell drops out...
Okay. If Sam Rockwell isn't available, then... And Ryan Reynolds isn't available, then yeah, James Roday. I could see that. For sure.
See? I waited 3 weeks for that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I still think it's great.
Okay, so
put me out of my misery here.
It's time for Stump Tim.
Yeah.
I had 2 questions.
Uh-oh.
I decided to go with the Michael Jackson one.
Oh, no.
But, I decided because I know you're not as big a fan as I am, so you don't know all the trivia. But this one I think you'll be able to get. Michael Jackson really only ever appeared in 2 movies. Taking out all the videos and the short films and all that. Okay. 2 feature-length movies. He's really only appeared in 2.
Okay.
Name the 2.
Okay. Well, the first one is I think the name is The Wiz, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The Wiz.
And the second one would be Men in Black 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow. I didn't expect that one. I didn't expect that one to be that easy for you. So there it is.
Yeah. So there we go. Another big exciting news that you should check out. We have a new web address. Very easier for everyone. It's not inscapeblog.blogspot.com, blah, 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 blah. It is now inscaped.com.
Very easy to
read. Inscaped, the name of the blog. Who would have thought? So check it out, inscaped.com. Very nice and neat. Maybe changing things around a little bit. Just a little bit. In time for Comic-Con. Coming up in a few weeks, we got Comic-Con. We've talked about our best of the year so far. We're about the halfway point for the year. I think we just passed it, so probably have that in the next couple weeks.
Right,
so.
And the Emmy nominations will be coming out very shortly, so we've got a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about, so check out the blog and check us out next week.